Hi Theory 2, today is lesson 10 and it's a review lesson. So everything in this lesson you should already know how to do, but I may be asking you the question in a way that I didn't ask you before, just to make sure that you understand it. There are a couple things that we need to go over. So at the very beginning, the first section, I give you a staff and I give you a letter name. You have to write that letter on the staff. Now, like the first one is G sharp. If you know of a place where there are two G sharps on the staff, you may choose either one. I don't have a specific one in mind. Just make sure that it's G sharp. Okay. Now, remember a couple things for you to remember. We talked about them, but just to make sure is when we write the letter, we write G sharp. But when we write it on the staff, it's written like sharp G, okay? The sharp comes first. So the sharp goes to the left of the note, okay? The other thing to think about, so I put that as a note in your instructions. The chromatic sign, the sharp, the flat, or the natural comes first. Then the other thing you have to remember is the stem rule, okay? So if the note is below line 3, so if it's on line 1, 2, or 3, or in space 1 or 2, the stem will go up on the right side of the note, okay? If the note, so if it's down here, the stem goes up on the right. If it's above line 3, then the stem will go down on the left, okay? So make sure that you know which way it's going for your stem as you draw those notes. The other thing to remember is the middle of the sharp. So if this was a tic-tac-toe game, the center box of the sharp goes on the same line or the same space as the note, okay? So if it's a space note, the center of the sharp goes in the same space as the note. Same thing for a flat, okay? As I was grading some of your papers this week, as some of you are doing the sharps and flats, the accidentals, some of you just wrote a sharp anywhere on the staff. It has to go in on the same line or the same space as the note. Okay, so that's the first section. The second section is I give you the fingerboard. You have to figure out what is the name of the note on that fingerboard, okay? And then write it on the staff and write the letter in the blank underneath the staff. Okay, so first of all, write the letter inside the circle on the fingerboard. What pitch is it? Then write that note on the staff. Now, this one, if it says C, you have to make sure that the C on the fingerboard is the same C on the staff. Though this one makes a difference, okay? So if it's on the G string, you have to make sure that the C that you put on the staff is the C that matches it, okay? Where it lives on the fingerboard, where it lives in the staff, they have matching houses, okay? Maybe one is their fingerboard house and one is their staff house, but they have to be the same. If it's on this one, it's a review of your second finger. So if it's a 2 on the tape for violins and violas, C sharp, F sharp, be sure that you have a sharp in that fingerboard circle. If you just write C or F, it is not a C or an F. It is a C sharp or an F sharp. So be sure to write the sharp. Also, if it's a C natural or an F natural, you don't have to write the natural in. If you'd like some practice writing it in, you can do that. Okay, then at the bottom of the page, I give you some dynamic terms. Pianissimo. What is the sign for that? Piano, what's the sign for that? So just write the symbol in the blank. Okay, then on the second page, we're back to counting and rhythms. Now, a couple of you have trouble in this section as well. Okay, so notes, each note gets a beat, right? Or has a number of beats inside of it. This one has 1. This one has 2. 1. A dotted half note has 3. So on the top line, you're going to write how many beats are in each note. Okay? Or rest. Underneath it, it says counts. We are counting the beats in each measure. So do not copy these numbers and put them down here. Count the beats. So 1, then what number comes after 1? Well, 2, okay? 2, but this note gets 2 beats, so it's going to get 2 numbers. What numbers will it get? 2 and 3, okay? Then this one gets 1 beat, so I'm not going to write 1 down here. What number comes after 3? Because oops, let me add my time signature. I have to have 4 beats in a measure, so under here it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to write a 4, okay? So these are the numbers of how many beats are in each note. These are the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then under this one, I would write 1, 2, 3. I need to see all. You're just writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 under counts. But the numbers have to line up under the correct note, okay? So this one would be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. If your time signature is 3, 4, on the counts line, you will only count to 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If it says 2, 4, you would only count to 2. If it says 5, 4. Okay, so these 2 lines, what you write in them are different. Beats, how many beats are in each note, then counts. Okay, count what beat, what count does this note fall on? 1, then 2, 3, because it gets 2 numbers, and then 4. It only gets 1 number. Okay, so make sure you get the beats right. Okay, then on the next page, at the bottom of that exercise, on the bottom of the second page, we have some bowing terms, okay? Match the right term to its definition. So pizzicato, which one of those things tells you what pizzicato is? Arco, down bow, and up bow. Okay, last page, bowing. So I have given you 3 lines with some bowing marked in. In the boxes, you're going to write either whether that's an up bow or a down bow. How do you figure it out? Okay, so let's say I'm in 3, 4. Let's do the first one together. That's slurred, and then I have a quarter note, quarter, quarter, quarter. And then a dotted half note, and we have a double bar line at the end. Okay, so it says that I'm starting with a down bow. Down, the next note would be up, right? If you need to write it in, you can, or if you can remember it, that's fine too. Then this is slurred, so that would be up, down. This one, up, down. Up, down. So you can go through and just go down, up, write a down bow in that first box. Up, down, I went backwards, down, up, down, and mark the correct bowing symbol, follow it through and write it, not over every note, but just make sure that you get the right, whether it's down or up, in the correct box. Okay, and then for your last thing, I give you notes and you have to tell me what it is. Now, just a reminder, when you see those notes, remember on the staff, it says sharp G or sharp C. When you write the letter, you have to write the letter, then the sharp. C sharp, okay? Or if it's a flat, and you can write the symbol. You don't have to write out sharp or flat. You can write the symbol, but just make sure that it goes on the right side, the correct side of the letter. When we're writing the letters, the sharp goes on the right side. If we're writing it on the staff, the sharp goes on the left side. Why? Do you remember? Why on the staff is it go first? So if we're playing along here, and then we come up and we see this note, right? Oh, I'm going to play a B. And I play a B, and then after I play it, I see, oh, it had a flat. I should have played B flat. It's too late. And we don't want to change it, or we'll have a, okay? So, the flat has to go on the left side of the note, or the sharp, or the natural, okay? But when you're writing it, we write B flat. Okay, it should be an easy week for you guys this week. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.